You know, I agree with what has been said. It's really hard to come after that, not just because it's true. It's just, it is fact that is indisputable. That we are fighting for the soul of not only the Democratic Party, but the soul of the country and the nation. And so when we talk about the soul of the Democratic Party, I think when we look in a historical context, we can say that there have been times where the Democratic Party has had the what right. So the health care for all, there was a New Deal, there was a level of understanding that we needed to do certain things to alleviate the economic ills of people. We needed to embrace unions. We've talked about that before. We needed massive infrastructure improvements and to put this country to work. We need to make sure that wages are fair, make sure that people aren't working 7 days a week all day. So the what has been there before, but when we look at the soul of the Democratic Party in the country, I think we need to look at the why, the when, the where, and the who. And that is where, when we look at the autopsy of the party, that is where I think we will find the soul of it and where it will go. So when we talk about the why, we've had the what there, but the what has been because it will cost less.
Right.
There's been a neoliberal agenda that supported that because it may save the country, because we may lose an election if we don't do that. The what was there, but the why was always wrong. And when we talk about the soul of the Democratic Party and what it will be, we need to do those things, but it is not because it costs less, because it is politically expedient, but because we believe in the humanity of people. And that is something that is, no matter what administration we have, that is something that will last beyond an administration. And that's when we talk about the soul, it is immortal, right? And so in order to have a soul, the why needs to be attached to human beings and the morality and the deep moral and just cause of the party. So we can have the what correct and still have the why incorrect. It could still be tied to a neoliberal agenda, and that is like the chaff which the wind bloweth away, it will be deceased, right? And so when we look at the why, we have to examine that for the soul. When we talk about the where, we've had the what correct, but many times it's been about a domestic thing. There's not been an internationalist thing. Where do we think people deserve to have health care, housing, water, right? So we could have the what correct as a Democratic Party, but if we don't have the where correct, right? Is it here and in Haiti? Is it here in Palestine? Is it here and in South Africa, here and in South America? Is it those places as well? That's when we look at the soul of this party. When we look at the who, is it just for tradesmen, right? Are unions just for white men? Is housing, is cars, are economic uplift just for people who have come back from war who are white, right? Is middle class just for white people? So the who is important when we look at the soul of the country. And I think the when is important. We don't need incremental things. These are not things we're talking about as generational. Hillel says, if not now, when? And so when we talk about the level of urgency that the Democratic Party has had in times before, that level of urgency has been woefully insufficient to the material needs of the people in this room and the people around the world. And so we've got to look at, for the soul, in my opinion, for us to examine whether we have a soul and whether we will have a soul, is whether we're willing to engage with not just the what. The policy is good. I believe in I'll take a rubber bullet. I'll get
a punt.
yeah, right here, right? So, but I agree. I wouldn't be a part of this movement to elect Senator Sanders if I thought it was exercise of futility. But the what is good, but it is the why. It is the when, it's the where.